GP with a special interest in mental health, and I'm clinical specialist lead for adult mental health for the Bradford clinical commissioning groups. So I have an interest clinically in looking after people with depression, but I'm also involved in strategic things and planning services for people with depression.
Oh, well, thanks for inviting me today because of the World Mental Health Day. So my name is Mandy Stephenson. I'm a lead psychological wellbeing practitioner within the My Wellbeing College. So we work with people with mild to moderate anxiety and depression. So what do you think about depression?
Well, it's said that 1 in 4 people suffer from depression, during their lives, but I think we both agreed, we think that it's more probably. And depression, well, I've actually suffered from an episode of severe depression, and it's really not a pleasant thing to experience. It can affect you in so many different ways. So you don't sleep well, you might not eat, you can't be bothered to do anything. You don't want to be with people, so you isolate yourself, and it's like a downward spiral. And it's just such an awful place to be. And some people even think about hurting themselves. It gets so bad because they can't see a way out. And it's such a dreadful place to be. But having said that, I've been very fortunate. That happened in my mid-20s. And I've gone on to have, well, I hope, have a successful career. I'm a GP and I'm well now. So there's every hope that you can recover from depression. I think it's so important that people know that.
I mean, there are target groups that suffer from depression that are very hard to reach, like young people, young men, and older gentlemen also find it hard to talk. So what we're trying to do is really today encourage people to talk, encourage friends to look after each other, and to have a look if they notice that one of their friends is isolating themselves, they're not being motivated, they're refusing all social engagements with friends and family, they're not even looking after themselves, not eating well,
So
and actually say, I feel really fed up, then it's time to take some action and talk to someone or talk to your GP or just ring our service.
Yeah, it is so important that family and friends can recognise these signs and come alongside people. And sometimes if you catch it early enough, that might be all it takes, just that somebody caring and listening to you.
Yeah, and understanding, isn't it? Being understanding.
Yeah. But if that isn't enough, then yes, they need to help the person perhaps go to see the GP or access your services.
Access our service or look online, see what's out there. I mean, we do, for people that really don't want to go to a clinic or have one-to-one, we run groups all across the Bradford district. That's a really good way of getting into looking after your mental health because everyone's in the same boat. You've all got a common problem, and so many people end up being pals. We don't ask you to, for the stress control, we don't ask you to engage with the therapist or say anything. You're just taking him for his education.
And it's such a shame that still there's so much stigma around depression and mental health. And I hope that, by some people, high-profile people like family, Alistair Campbell, Ruby Wax, people like that talking about it, and us sat here talking about it, we've got to really try and reduce that stigma and get people talking about it and listening and that
we normalise it. It's normal to have life's ups and downs. Life is not one bed of roses,
Fortunately,
is it? For anybody. I don't believe there's anybody that hasn't had a little bit of depression or a little bit of anxiety, bereavement, marriages and relationships breaking down, children just at school being under pressure and feeling stressed and this, feeling they've got the world on their shoulders.
It's so important, isn't it, to get in early as well, isn't it?
Well, we're doing
talking about schools, getting them when they're young, helping them to understand about mental health.
Well, one thing is to try and make it that it's normal to talk about it. We talk about physical well-being, we talk about healthy eating, we talk about alcohol and how that's a depressant, we talk about recreational drugs and other drugs having a significant effect on your mental well-being. So if we go in like to year 12 and 13, which we have been doing, they don't have to engage, they're just listening. It starts them thinking about, am I thinking okay?
Yeah.
Is my behaviour okay? And we've also noticed, quite significantly, there's a lot of social pressure on young people.
Yeah.
What do I look like? And being judged, and they're very self-critical, which again creates depression.
It can do, yeah. As you mentioned, I mean, there's quite a lot of triggers for depression, isn't it?
There is.
Employment, relationship breaks and things. But you mentioned alcohol, and of course, we know alcohol can make people more depressed. But say as a GP, if I'm treating somebody with moderate to severe depression with an antidepressant, if they're drinking lots of alcohol, the antidepressants don't work. It's like a double whammy. And of course, people with alcohol, substance misuse are at higher risk of trying to kill themselves, as are young men particularly. There are certain target groups. Unfortunately, doctors, nurses and farmers are quite high risk as well.
Well, they've got pressurised jobs, haven't they? Long hours, maybe for farmers. And the pressure of working in caring for others, I think sometimes is a big responsibility. That may be some of it as well. But definitely depression, just to give people hope, it is, you can do things about it. Yeah, you can change things, you can change your behaviour, you can look at doing pleasurable things, having a little walk, what do they call it, the green gym, getting out in the nature.
Well, we know in all the research says exercise is one of the best treatments,
not marathons.
No, start gentle. Yes,
just a little 15-minute walk every day.
Absolutely. Yeah,
eating nice and healthy food, because when you're depressed, you're more likely to be eating sugary foods, fatty foods, takeaways, not caring for yourself, maybe not even having a shower when you normally do, not going to the hairdressers. You know, if friends and family have noticed this, then you think something's not quite right. I need to open up and give them a chance to tell me. And sometimes it takes people a few times to open up.
Yes, you've got to keep going. And we're very lucky in Bradford, aren't we, Mandy, that we've got so many services available. I mean, I'm sure you can tell us all about My Wellbeing College.
I can. Well, My Wellbeing College, formerly it was IAT. We're trying to cover every way people want to engage and look at themselves, the behaviour and the thinking. We have Silver Cloud, which is another online, it's similar to Facebook, it's quite modern.
Good for young people.
Fabulous. And for busy people. If you have time to travel to a clinic and you haven't time to get childcare in for your children, you can do this in your own time when it suits you, but you are monitored. You have to register and ring in, and we monitor that by a call from a therapist just to see how you're doing, and obviously we're always looking at risk. Aren't we?
We have to,
and we would direct people to the first response team. And
we love first response in primary care. Up till that came in, when people were very distressed and at risk, it was really difficult in primary care because to access the acute mental health services, it was dreadful. The classic Friday afternoon, you can't get hold of anybody, and you sat there with somebody threatening to kill themselves.
Stressful for everyone, isn't it?
It's bad for the patient, bad for everybody. But now, a 24/7 phone line, it's fabulous. So, as a GP, if I've got a patient very distressed in the middle of my surgery, I can put them in another room, put them on the phone to first response, so give them a thorough, great assessment, and decide if they need to see them or not, depending.
Or they need hospitalising or
whatever.
Someone to go out and see them.
Yes, absolutely. It's just revolutionised.
So it really deals with crisis, doesn't it?
Yes.
And as some of the other services that are still out there, Samaritan's Guideline, and we say always, if that's not for you, someone at an A&E will see you. But that's for people in crisis, which we hope we're trying to nip it in the bud.
Preventative.
Yes,
stuff.
educate, you know. I've had people come in and they've just needed a couple of sessions just to make sense of what they've been experiencing, and they've gone away happy and they know how to make the changes. So some of the things that we do promote for people to do is do something pleasurable every day.
That's a bit like it's a behavioural activation, I understand, is its a flash term.
It is.
Which was originally an American idea that came over. And I've used it myself, and I must say, I think it works brilliantly.
Well, it does, and even keeping a diary.
Yeah.
Because then you get a sense of achievement.
Achievement and pleasure.
Yeah.
There's that link.
And if you're not doing the routine tasks, you're not doing the necessary things like paying the bills, things are piling up, you're hiding them under the sofa, you know there's something gone a little bit wrong, so get some help, talk to someone, talk to your GP, ring us.
Yeah.
You know, we'll help you break it down into small manageable steps of managing a problem. Citizens' advice for financial direction and benefits, and carers' resources for carers out there, because there's a lot of carers out there, and it's a really tough job, that, isn't it?
It is. I mean, we're so lucky in Bradford with all the, not just the statutory services, but the care trust providing, My Wellbeing College, First Response, and of course the local authority linking into that. But the voluntary sector in Bradford is amazing. I mean, Mind and the Cellar Trust are part of the crisis care situation, as are there's a new Tower Hurst facility for younger people in crisis that's just come online. And it's just wonderful that we've got those resources, but it's so important that people know about what's available.
Knowing where to go, isn't it?
And that's where, people like My Wellbeing College can signpost and make sure people know where to go. Definitely,
because I think it'd take us nearly an hour to go through the list, so I think they're going to add that to the end of the this video. So
if you are depressed,
talk.
You need to talk about it.
Talk to anybody. Talk to us. Talk to your GP. Talk to your friends. Find someone who's got a really empathy with you that can help you.
Listening, talking. So
listening, talking.
Let's reduce this.
And we're really good at talking, aren't we?
Yeah, unlike some men.
No, so men, the men out there, the citizens of Bradford, please talk to someone.
Yeah.